Welcome, everyone. Today, we embark on a journey into emotional alchemy, a term that might sound mystical, but is grounded in both ancient healing traditions and modern science. This concept is about turning emotional pain, especially so-called dark emotions, into fuel for personal healing and spiritual growth. Our aim is to bridge neuroscience, quantum physics, and subtle energy medicine to show you how emotions are not just feelings, but energetic events that shape your body, your brain, and your biofield. Dark emotions like despair, fear, grief, and anger are often treated as problems to get rid of, but they're actually messengers. They contain information about unresolved trauma, unmet needs, or boundaries that were violated. They're dark because we avoid them, but in truth, they are powerful invitations to deeper healing. Neuroscience shows that these emotions influence neurotransmitters, heart rate variability, and brain waves. And energetically, they can get stuck in our field, affecting our vitality and resilience. Emotional alchemy is the practice of listening to these emotions and using them to evolve. Kirlian photography gives us a window into the human energy field. Developed in the 1930s, it captures coronal discharges, what we might call auras, around living beings. It's not proof of a soul, but it does offer visual evidence that our biofield changes with emotional states. Eastern traditions have long spoken of chi, prana, or life force, which moves through channels like meridians or chakras. Now we're beginning to validate these ancient systems using imaging, thermal scans, and bioelectrical measurements. When emotions like grief or rage dominate our inner world, the energy field shows patterns of depletion, fragmentation, or hyperactivity. Let's now move into quantum territory. Quantum physics has shown us that everything is vibration, particles behave like waves, and matter is not solid, but energy in motion. Emotions, then, are not just biochemical, they are vibrational fields. Water, which makes up over 70% of the human body, is now thought to have a kind of memory, retaining information through molecular structure. So emotional trauma may leave patterns in your tissues, much like grooves on a record. Proteins and microtubules in the brain may hold vibrational information, potentially explaining why healing isn't just mental, it's physical, cellular, and energetic. Despair is more than sadness, it's the collapse of meaning. It's the feeling of being cut off from life, of having no purpose, no future, no inner compass. It's one of the most underestimated emotions in therapy. Often, depression is treated medically, but it's really unprocessed despair. Studies show that much of antidepressant effectiveness comes from placebo, suggesting that belief and context are powerful forces. This doesn't mean medication has no value, but it means we need a deeper approach. Emotional alchemy asks us not to numb despair, but to give it space, listen to it, and let it transform us. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when anxious, or a weight on your chest when grieving? These are not metaphors, they're somatic signals. Emotional energy, if unprocessed, gets embedded in fascia, muscle, and nervous tissue. Studies on trauma by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk and others show that the body literally keeps the score. Somatic therapies like TRE, trauma release exercises, breathwork, and yoga work, because they bypass the rational brain and access the limbic and energetic systems directly. To truly heal, we must move the emotion, not just talk about it. This diagram maps how emotional alchemy and biofield healing interconnect. Dark emotions distort the biofield, leading to mental, emotional, and even physical disease. Biofield therapies, such as Reiki, Qigong, healing touch, or tuning forks, introduce coherent frequencies that realign the energy system. This creates what scientists call quantum coherence, a state where your body, mind, and spirit operate in sync. Emotional transmutation happens when an emotion loses its charge and becomes insight, strength, or connection. The final goal? Somatic and spiritual integration, a new state of wholeness. Transformation isn't mystical, it's practical. You don't need to climb a mountain or join a monastery. The real work is showing up for yourself, day after day. Mindfulness helps you observe without judgment. Shadow work invites you to see what you've disowned. Journaling makes your inner world visible. Somatic movement, sound baths, acupuncture, all of these help you move energy. The question isn't which one works best, it's which one speaks to you now. Healing isn't linear, it's layered. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about remembering who you were before the wounding. Dark emotions are not your enemy, they are guides. Despair shows you what's missing. Anger shows you what matters. Grief shows you what you love. They all want to be felt, not fixed. Emotional alchemy means we give them names, bodies, voices, and we allow them to evolve. You can't skip the darkness to get to the light, but you can walk through it. And when you do, you find not just healing, but wisdom, compassion, and power. This is the sacred task of being human. Let this quote sink in. The wound is the place where the light enters you. What if your greatest pain is also your greatest teacher? What if healing is not erasing the scar, but letting it shine? Emotional alchemy reminds us that we are not broken. We are alchemists. And every emotion, no matter how dark, is an invitation to transmute fear into freedom. Thank you for being here on this journey.